Alright, welcome to today's video. This is my frame and I gotta strip it, everything. So you can see it's a frame and you got all these parts on it. You got the rack and pinion, the upper and lower A-arms, sway bar, all this junk. It all needs to come out, which is what my hand waving means. So this video will be stripping the entire frame and putting it all back, which sounds like a bunch of fun. It took about 14 minutes, but yeah, this took me a couple weeks with letting stuff cure and dry and work and buy and order. Anyways, stripped down. There you go. Look at that. Springs everywhere. A-arms, upper and lower, taken apart. I mean, when I knew I had to take it apart, it did not take long. You have an impact like that one, and you just go to town. Just zip, 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 zip. And I got to do the rear axle, but I got a little more on the front because I got to order every single piece that I think needs replaced on the front, coils, everything, all new, just to make sure it's right. I also ripped off these lower ball joints. They are riveted on from factory, but I don't have a re-riveter, so I bought the kind that re-bolt on, and they come with all their fancy bolts and everything, so I should be good. With these A-arms are all stripped, that one's stripped, this one's stripped. I got all the bushings, I think, getting out of them. The ball joints are coming out of all of them. I'm going to town on everything pretty much on the A-arm side. I got the coils and all the stuff, trying to keep track of it, make sure I don't lose stuff because, you know, it's a mess. And once I'm done, I'm going to take the frame over here where I got some more concrete area and set up a pressure washing station. And when it's clean, I'll bring it back over here and do all the welding and fabrication and whatnot. So with the frame already stripped and good, I took it from over there, and there's the rear axle. Look at that axle. It's a nice rear end. And I gotta do some pressure washing. So now, like a crazy person, I hand the camera to a 5-year-old. And that 5-year-old is much shorter. You can see the shadow. Just video, not the ground. Come on, there you go. Follow me. And off I go, ready to pressure wash. My neighbor lent me a nice pressure washer because they were very nice to me. And so I spray this thing down with a shaky camera girl looking at my butt, apparently. And yeah, some degreaser all over everything. This front clip that I got was originally... Ooh, look at my nice shoes. Come on, girly. There you go. So yeah, the original clip was from a rolled over 98 Dodge Dakota. And when they roll over cars, oil gets everywhere. It was really gross. So I'm actually excited to finally have it cleaned off for the first time. And yeah, getting this all sprayed on, letting it soak in, getting everything I could possibly get. I think I had like 10 cans of engine degreaser that I used on this thing to make sure it was super shiny. And of course, I made sure I got all the parts, so the A-arms, everything. So as I spray, I might run out, but believe me, I got enough cans. I had tons of this stuff. I went broke doing this, but it was so much easier to work on the car after it's all degreased, clean, and shiny, because you barely need gloves. You add all the gross when you build it back. But, you know, nice to get this thing degreased. The pressure washer was super easy to use, super fun. Get it all washed out. Tried to wash out inside the frame. Everything I could possibly clean, I tried to clean as best I could clean. And when you think I thought I was done, I was not, because I kept cleaning. So I would pressure wash it all off, get it all cleaned up. You can see everything's ready. It's just soaking. I followed all the instructions. That's how crazy I was. I actually read the instructions. And I wore out my daughter. There she goes. Goodbye. But everything's going good. Time to get it all pressure washed. And here we go. Let's get it cleaned, and boom, look how much shinier it is. Now when I flip it upside down, I remember several things like, oh yeah, I didn't finish welding my front clip on. I need to fish plate this and grind off those ugly welds. And oh, I didn't finish welding my motor mounts, or oh, I didn't finish welding anything. So I gotta fix all of these pieces, but it's so much easier to weld flat. I mean, all of this needs welded flat, fixed up, and I got to add some brackets and braces and such. So let's move this thing around. So this is the first bracket that I add. This is the rear axle where the coilovers hit the body. Now the original metal, it's from the 50s, so I wasn't sure if I could trust it, whether it was rusted or not. So I added a second rusty piece next to it. And I was going to put these brackets in between because, yeah, this holds my shocks and such, but I'd feel much better without any torque on that. So I got to put that piece in there. I cut holes in the bottom of their 4-link brackets. I plated these. Look at that. My welding's so much better when I'm welding down, and I'm going to stay far away so you can't see how bad my welds really are. I fixed the motor mounts, added some extra welding in there, welded some more in here, and I'm getting pretty comfortable. So let's get back over there and finish that one. So look at this. I added this piece. Yep, there's my pieces there. That looks better. And yeah, super excited. I'm thinking of boxing these in. I get going on it, and I got over here and I re-welded some more stuff, because when you can twist the frame and weld everything flat, my goodness, I'll never try to weld uphill again. But yeah, I was thinking of boxing these in, and then this thing happened. I slept on it, and I realized that rear brace that I added is going to hit my brand new spare tire well that I added in the trunk. So I had to make sure I was safe, cut it all off again, and I had to relocate it 2 inches to the front to make sure there's no interference with, you guessed it, the stuff I built. So my stuff I built has stuff I built in the way of the stuff I built. Either way, I got the frame straddled on this extremely safe conduit, and you can see how much better it turned out. A little closer looks good. These brackets now fully welded with a little gusset plate in the front to help a little torque on them. I got all this stuff welded. It's all hanging off some 1/2-inch conduit because I'm sketchy as they come. And I got all the stuff I need now. I got to wire wheel this whole thing nice and pretty. When it's all wire wheeled, then I spray it with some ruster stopper. And the rust stopper turns black. So anything that wasn't black that is black is because it's rust. And so I put the rust stop everywhere. It's a nasty chemical reaction. It takes the different chemistry stuff and magically turns black with the ionization or zincization or some cool magic happens. It turns black when it's rusty. So this whole frame turned black because it was rusty. But with the frame all rusty, preventification of the rust, I feel comfortable to now start priming all this crap. So I start hanging up every single piece that I've got, all my lower and upper A-arms, the frame, the 4-links. Look at my fancy paint booth open to the air for good breathing skills. That's my transmission mount. Look at that big old honking thing. So proud I built that all. I put this all. I'm so happy. Everything's ready to paint it. Now that it's primered, I'm going to paint it all black. And what better time to paint it all black than middle of the day, right? Wrong. This is me. This is Jake. Jake doesn't think things through. He paints black in the dark. That's my wife. No, she didn't do it with a rattle can. That would be cheating. She wouldn't do all this by rattle. We had actual paint guns from Harbor Freight because we're rich like that. And I painted everything black. Everything. I think I put 4 to 10 coats. That's not part of the body. 4 to 10 coats of paint on this. I just went till I ran out. I had a whole gallon, and I just went around and around and around. There's probably runs everywhere, but the hope was that when I hit stuff and scratch it, the paint just doesn't fall off. But, it will. So all of it's painted. My wife, of course, backs into it, which is great. But no one cares, because in the daylight, it looks like black paint. It almost has a reflection and stuff with all the orange peel. Doesn't matter. I already scraped that frame piece there up, hitting it on the bottom of stuff. But everything's looking good. Everything's black and super shiny. I was so excited with how shiny this looked. This is my first time ever doing a car, so shiny, shiny looks so good. I did everything. I did all the painting. Of course, I did it in sandals, if you just notice my toes. And yeah, I painted in the dark and got black paint everywhere. And look at all these fun pieces. I think it looks really cool when you look out there and all the pieces you've built, all these 4-links, the steering connection thingy, and all the A-arms that you've gotten. And you're like, wow, I've done all this work. How cool. I painted it all. I did so good. Look how shiny black it is. now I gotta beat all these pieces with a hammer, press in the bushings and treat them terrible, drive it through the rain and just destroy this stuff. So I don't know why people spend years, it seems, sanding, buffing, and bondoing their cars. They must have fancier cars than me. I painted it black in the backyard. It's got dust in it. It probably won't last 40 years, but I hope it lasts longer than me wanting to drive the car. And if it rusts a little, that's okay. Oh yeah, painting in the dark. Look, don't worry, I have a rattle can to fix what I missed. And my hope is, because I painted it black, I can just go buy a can of rattle from the Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever store and just say, touch it up, done. So you can see I got my transmission mount in now, and I'm sitting on it, which means it's a chair, or I'm a transmission. Looking at my rear axle, which is assembled, 100% assembled with a air gun, so I hope I never have to take it off. Everything's looking good in there to me. I have a rear axle sitting in my frame. It's on its own. Do you know how exciting that is for the first time to ever put a car together, to actually see it as a rear axle? I was super stoked. I got a brand new Ford 9-inch triangulated 4-link that I built. My brackets are all there. Everything's looking cool. My coilovers, I did it. It's starting to come together. I think the bracing looks good. Now, I went to the front, I assembled it all, and then I started doing the hubs because it's easier to work. I broke a puller trying to get this bearing off. It was like just locked in there. I eventually had to heat it with a torch and cut it and all kinds of crap to get it off. And well, you know, mechanic with a torch and a grinder, it'll fix it. So I got that all off, polished that whole thing back up, and now it's assembled. That dust shield on the ground was a spare. I replaced one of the spindles, but yeah. Everything's coming together. Car's looking pretty daggone cool. Shiny stuff like this needs bent because that motor sits so low. I'm going to probably have to bend these lines out of the way, but, you know, minor details to smash with a motor or something. But, yeah, I'm super excited. Brand new rotors, brand new calipers, brand new bushings. I forgot to put my shocks in, but no one cares. There it is back on the ground on its own wheels. These are where the shocks go. If a smart person would have done it, they'd have put the shocks in while it was still apart. I also didn't remember to put the, bumpers. But, yeah, it could be installed anytime. So next, I got to get this transmission and motor split apart. That's what's under the tarp, by the way. I'm just pointing at it with my claws. And once I get that split apart and the clutch back in, which showed up at this time, then I'll be able to put that motor and transmission on this frame and do some tuning up and get it running. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy me stripping and putting it all back together, this frame for my crazy build, and my kid kicking soccer balls because he's like, hey, Dad, we're done, right? So hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.